Marcus Silva, what's going on? Rose again. We'll get started here in just a sec. What's up, Crypto Dance? Alrighty, so I'm here in Santa Clara for the blockchain event. I'm going to be down here for a few days, so getting addicted to this music. Yeah, it's a good beat. What's going on, Alan? J-Rob? What's going on? Yeah, so I'm down here for the blockchain event. Be doing some networking with some people that are coming down for the event. I've seen a few YouTubers that I follow that are making the trip out here, so that's good to see. So I just flew in a little bit earlier today. Interested to see, you know, kind of some of the different things that are going on at this event. Yeah, Coin Pilot. Yeah, I'm in Santa Clara. So few things I wanted to talk about. I mean, I think really the biggest story is Bitcoin is getting really close to hitting $10,000, and that's probably going to happen before December, is the way it's looking. You know, most of my estimates were pretty conservative. I was thinking that you know, we were going to see, you know, maybe $8,000 or $9,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. If we took the 1% averaging and we kind of extrapolated that over time, we were looking at back when I was doing that about $12,500 by January 1st. So we have another month here. I think that we're seeing, we've just seen a huge rise in the market cap, and so I want to show that to you guys here. The market cap currently at $305 billion. So over the last month, it's almost doubled. And so I'm going to show this to you guys here. So these are the volumes, the total volumes of all the different alt currencies, and this was roughly, you know, about 170 or so, and we've just seen a pretty standard dramatic rise over the last month. And so I think what we're kind of seeing here, what we're seeing here is something that was similar to the 2013 November-December breakout, where we saw a huge rise in price and a huge kind of wave of adoption over those 2 months, followed by a little bit of a downtrend, you know, as that kind of fizzled out. It took a long time for the markets to really recover. I think a lot of people were kind of just starting to kind of get into cryptocurrency. We saw Bitcoin come all the way down to like in the 300s, I believe, at one point in 2015 or so. I think is about when it bottomed out. Earlier this year was about $1,000, and now we've just seen it really progress and just build and grow over time, and it doesn't appear to really be stopping anytime soon. And as Bitcoin tends to surge, you see a lot of the alt currencies really coming down. Now today it surged kind of earlier today. It's showing only 1% gains, but as you can see, this is kind of interesting, is that you know, the market's really kind of all over the place if we're just looking at Bitcoin. So, you know, Ethereum's pretty comparable in terms of, you know, its price with Bitcoin. Really hasn't moved a whole lot. Bitcoin Cash is down considerably, considering, you know, we just saw a huge rise. Ripple had been down the other day. We've seen it bounce back. It's up 7%. Bitcoin Gold, same story. So you're kind of seeing a little bit of balancing in the market. Bitcoin Gold was up, and we've seen a little bit of a correction there. Litecoin and Dash have remained fairly steady. IOTA and Ethereum Classic have really taken off, and so those alt currencies have been really performing very well. So Ethereum Classic, the reason prices have really come up in Ethereum Classic, it's being traded really heavily in Korea right now. So I'm going to show you guys this right here. So BitThumb is currently the #1 exchange, and the #1 trading pair is Ethereum Classic, followed pretty closely by Bitcoin Cash. So we're seeing a pretty substantial volumes in this exchange, followed up pretty closely by Bitfinex. Bitfinex, the big trending coin is Bitcoin. It's currently the top traded pair. Did you scoop up some Binance coin? I am working on that. I haven't. That is on my list of to do. I need to. I wanted to pick up a lot of Binance coin. I've got. I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be a good one, because we're checking down here. I mean, the Binance exchange has been holding really steady, and it's the only exchange here with its own coin. Now, it's not really being traded a whole lot, but yeah, I do believe that with some of the trends that we've seen in some of these markets, where you've seen like an exchange that's kind of tokenized its own coin, you've seen that some of these coins have done pretty well, and I just think it's a really interesting technology right now. It's currently not being traded a whole lot. At least Binance, the BNB coin to Bitcoin. You can kind of see that there was a lot of volume here a little bit earlier this month, kind of August, and we're seeing that volumes are starting to come up a little bit. Would you do BNB Tether or BNB BTC? That's a good question. There's been some kind of concerning reports coming out against Tether. Tether has been under attack lately for some of the behind-the-scenes market manipulation things that were going on. I looked into it a little bit. I'm not as up on exactly what's going on, but I think right now, just with some of the news that was coming out, I think Tether might be one to be a little bit careful of. It's trading a lot though. That's one thing I did want to bring up is it's currently 5th. So you can see here, it's 5th. It's doing almost 6% of the total market volume, primarily Poloniex, Bittrex, and a few others. But Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, those are kind of the big volume coins right now. Litecoin, Ripple, and IOTA are followed up not too far behind. Quantum Dash doing about 1%, and EOS. So you're seeing a little bit of market distribution. Bitcoin volumes are actually down a little bit. They've been really come up in Bitfinex. So are you coming to the San Francisco event or the? Yeah, I'm actually here in Santa Clara for the blockchain expo. I don't know if I'm gonna make it up to San Francisco. I think from here I'm kind of planning on staying on this area unless there's a reason for me to go to San Francisco. But I was maybe gonna head over to Modesto. I still got to talk with my buddy over there. Possibly take a trip to LA and then seeing what's going on. I'm at the BitConnect event. Yeah. Yeah, I should. I got to check in with those guys and see what's going on. There's several guys that are in town. A bunch of foreigners are in town posting a bunch of pics in San Francisco. So doing all the touristy stuff, Alcatraz Island, and pictures on the beach, Golden Gate Bridge. So yeah, they're having a bunch of fun. I guess I can skip that. I've been to San Francisco enough times. I don't really need to do the touristy stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be around. I don't know if there's really going to be anything going on in San Francisco that I know of. San Francisco's, about an hour and a half drive from here, depending on traffic from Santa Clara. So, and we'll see. Let me check in. I know there was a couple things on CNBC today. They said BTC is going to 40K by the end of 2018. Yeah, I think that if you kind of take the current projections and the way it's trading. And the other thing, I'm going to post this a little bit later. There was a great video that Richard Hart did. Had a little bit of an interview. Crypto J posted it. It was he was kind of going over his reasons why he thinks that Bitcoin's going to hit $20,000 by basically by the end of the year. and it was kind of giving, you know, some of his reasons for that. The big reason that he was giving was the futures market opening up on Wall Street. So he thinks that once we see Wall Street really kind of come into the cryptocurrency space and really start to invest heavily into Bitcoin, that's going to be this. It's going to be a huge surge with the Bitcoin price, as you see a lot of money from Wall Street starting to get into the futures market. So he goes a little bit in depth into that, and I think it's a really interesting interview. So I will I'll post the link and in the description below, and I'll probably just post it on my YouTube page, because I think it's a really good interview, some really good insights in that. Considering OMG is up, I think Hero will be active in Asia, I think. So don't know much about Hero. I know OMG. Let's take a look at OMG. OMG is almost at $1 billion market cap. It's up 11% today. So it's up substantially. We have now $16 billion market coins. So there's Stellar Lumens, Quantum, Cardano are some of the newer coins to come into the $1 billion market cap. So that's interesting to see. And OMG is right there. It's hit it once before in September. It's had a little bit of a pullback, and we're starting to see it kind of take off again. Decent volume. Bitfinex, Bittrex, Binance, Poloniex. So it's trading. It's got some volume behind it. It's a good hold, a good coin to hold, and you know, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know much about Hero. So buy and hold BTC or trade BTC for BCC and lend. So the title of my video was talking about the drop in price that we've seen recently with BitConnect, and so this is what I wanted to show you guys here. So this is just kind of trending over the last 2 weeks, and if we zoom in on some of the prices here, you know, it's been as high as like 0.03 385, 386 BTC, whereas you've seen the price has really come down to about 0.0308 now. So that's about a 15% drop in the last 3 days. And if we look a little bit more into this actually is a little bit of a better graph here. Looking at coin market cap, you can see the green line here is the USD price, and that has been pretty steady at around the $300 level, and so it's been staying fairly steady, as you see in the price of BCC to Bitcoin really just kind of drop off a cliff. And so right in here, I think I was stating on some of my videos that BitConnect looked like it was poised for a breakout, because typically what we've seen in the history of the coin is that it tends to mimic the price of BitConnect pretty closely. So you're seeing a little bit of a rise here, followed by a rise in the USD price of BitConnect, and it tended to match the market here pretty well until just recently. Until just recently here, you started to have quite a bit of a drop, and this is as Bitcoin went from 8,000 to now closing in on 10,000. So you've seen, you know, a 20% rise in price of Bitcoin, but it hasn't really affected the price of BitConnect. So if we look at the history of the coin and the way that it tends to kind of have certain plateaus in price, I still am kind of in the camp that I think it's best to hold BCC right now. Bitcoin is going to go up, you know, most likely to, you know, 11, 12,000 in my estimation by the end of the year. I think 20,000 might be a little bit too much, but you know, it's very possible that we could see a little bit of a pullback with prices with Bitcoin. At which point you might see a lot of people really start to come into the market. I think that's just, you know, with the volumes that we're seeing and the new adoption and all of the news, it's really kind of starting to come out here towards the end of the year. I don't know if I really see that happening. I think I see a pretty slow, consistent rise, breaking 10,000 and really starting to kind of to take off. But I think what will be interesting to see for those that are in BitConnect, kind of putting out loans, interested in making money on the price difference with the coin. This might be a good time if you're holding quite a bit of BCC. It might actually be a good time to throw it into staking. Staking, you'll get a little bit more of the interest rate, and I think for BitConnect as a whole, I think they're kind of trying to move in that direction with the volatility price points with their platform. I think they want to get more people into staking. They're going to have a web staking application they're going to be launching at some point here in the near future. But I think that we're going to see a little bit of a breakout in the price of the coin here in the near future. I don't really see it dropping, and so for me, I'm holding quite a bit of BCC, and I'm kind of waiting for it to get up to the 330, 350 level, and either put out a few more loans or maybe transfer into BTC. I'm going to be taking a little bit out to put into a few altcoins. The Binance coin was one. There's a few other ones I wanted to get into. I mean, if I were buying altcoins today, and I was kind of just taking a look at the market and where I saw some opportunity. We've seen a pretty big plateau here with Dash's price. It's very possible Dash might be a little bit of a good buy-in right now. Just really surprised by IOTA. I was really not anticipating the amount of volume and money that's come into this platform. The market cap has really grown substantially. I was actually very interested in purchasing Monero a couple hours ago, about 3-4 hours ago, and it's come up a lot. It was not up very much today at all, and it's come up almost 8%. Neo, I think, is a really good buy-in time as well. I think Neo's a great coin to buy, and Neo also has the ability to stake on their desktop platform. So there's some ability to kind of get some gas, which is kind of how it works. Like if you're staking Neo, you're going to be getting gas as a reward, and gas is currently trending in the 50th position. So it tends to also mimic the price of Neo pretty heavily. H-share, we've seen a lot of volatility with H-share lately. I think that might be a good one to get in and put like a price cap. I think what we've seen here in the last little bit, we've seen just a lot of volume coming in. The volumes are still pretty high, so I'm going to show you this to you guys a little bit. The volumes are still fairly high, as you can see here just recently with H-share. Hasn't been reflected on the prices too much, but this huge surge that we were seeing a little bit earlier. We saw a little bit more of a surge, so we saw huge spikes followed by a big dip, a correction, and I started to see the coin being shorted. It's coming up a little bit more as we were seeing more volume. So I think that's going to be an interesting coin to get into. It's being traded on about 30 different exchanges, so I think that's one that could be poised for a little bit of a breakout. But yeah, other than that, I think just getting money into cryptocurrency in general is going to be a good plan. Those American hotel rooms are not as nice as Asia hotel rooms. Yeah, and it's more expensive. This one is about, it's about $220, $230, and that's actually a good deal. Most of the hotels in the area are all sold out. I don't know if it's because of the blockchain event or whatnot, but a lot of ones I was looking at were like $400, $500, and that was just, man, for what you can get in Asia, yeah, there's no comparison. What do you plan on doing with BitConnect at the expo? Well, I don't really plan on doing anything with BitConnect unless I'm prompted. I mean, I'm mainly just kind of networking with some of the guys in the community. So there's A lot of people from America that are involved in BitConnect that I haven't had a chance to really connect with or meet in person, and so that's going to be a good opportunity to kind of meet some of those guys and meet some of the people that are you know, that are kind of invested in BitConnect. Most of the people that I've been around have been more in Asia, so that's kind of been more of the people I've been interacting with. I'm going to be heading back over to Asia here pretty soon. So while I'm here, I'm looking forward to connecting with a few of these guys and just kind of getting a chance to kind of meet. Is it true the national promoter of Vietnam is making 1 million daily? Part of that is you have to understand that with the national promoters have a development fund that they are given by BitConnect to help develop the platform. Not all the national promoters actually use it to develop the platform, but anyways, they're given those funds. So yeah, I mean, I think with the volume that Vietnam is doing and the volume that's underneath some of the promoters there, they were doing, I think, somewhere around like 8 million a week, which, yeah, it should be about, you know, million a day. So it's not always that consistent. Like they're making, you know, a million a day. I mean, there's up days, there's down days, but they're doing a tremendous amount of volume. They've got a lot of people that have come into the platform in Vietnam. There's been, that was the big reason why after, you know, I went to the BitConnect meetup in August and was kind of hearing about the success the Vietnam community was having. That's a big reason why I wanted to go to Saigon and Hanoi and kind of check out a little bit more behind the scenes as to, you know, what it was they were doing. That was giving them so much success, and I kind of want to do the same thing here in the near future with Korea, as we've seen. Just, you know, a lot of activity in the cryptocurrency market seems to be centered in Korea. So it's going to be an area of interest of mine. Heading out there pretty soon. Same thing with India. I'm interested in going to India. There seems to be a huge market there in cryptocurrency and BitConnect specifically. So lots to kind of check out in Asia. It still hasn't, you know, I think there's still maybe too many questions in America and how that's going to be, how it's going to work it out. How blockchain can make BCC sustainable? Well, part of the advantage and the innovation that BitConnect has is that they do have a blockchain. They have a coin that can be traded, that can be mined, that can be staked. A lot of these other lending platforms don't have that type of innovation. Some of them are trying to you know, to kind of create some of that behind the scenes, but BitConnect was really the first one. What's going on, Joey Rocket? The Hyatt House. I'm at the Fairfield Inn by the airport. Yeah, man. Send me an email, CryptoClover at gmail.com. I don't know if I've got your number. Yeah, we'll link up. But yeah, the blockchain is that's part of what makes BitConnect what it is. And so whether or not it's sustainable, you know, I mean, it's sustainable in the fact that there's a little bit more behind the scenes that is verifiable. You know, you can you have a blockchain, you have a coin, it's being traded. The you know, it's got some market depth there. There's seemed to be a lot going on with BitConnect, so it's you know, they're up on their social, they're adding new things to their website. I think these are the things when they're constantly being engaged. That's what makes them a little bit different than some of the other platforms that are, you know, basically you know, the website that is kind of giving you a story, telling you that they're, you know, trading or, you know, putting your money into trading bots or what have you, and then we've seen a lot of them just poof, just kind of disappear. So right now that one is really the big innovator, and part of it has to do with you know, the coin, the blockchain, the technology. What would you say their success due to in Asia? So in Asia, for one, there's a lot more people. That's a big part of it. If you're in the Vietnam area, you're in the Southeast Asia area, and you take like a 2, 3, 4 hour plane flight in a big circle around, you're basically within a short plane flight of half of the world's population, about 4 billion people. The blockchain technology. Bitcoin is still new for a lot of these cultures and people, and I think what I've seen is that it ends up being a very good educational seminars when you have these conferences in these different countries, and they're trying to explain, you know, Bitcoin, blockchain technology, and that sort of thing, and then started getting into a platform like BitConnect, which has some history, which has shown itself to be fairly stable. You don't get as many of the Asian cultures that are really wanting to be more investigative and knowing more what's going on behind the scenes, as you might see with you know, American or more westernized countries that want a little bit more information to make larger investments. So for a lot of these people in Asian countries, they're only putting in a few $100s here, a few $100s there, and if you get, you know, enough people that are starting to invest in the platform, it's really that word of mouth, that referral marketing, that is huge in these Asian countries, and so that seems to be a big reason why it's really impacted these cultures, and part of it too is you know, the money that is being produced through the platform for these communities is pretty substantial. It may not be as a big of a deal for people here in America, but you know, once you start getting to a point where you're invested in BitConnect, and say you have like $1,000 in loans and you're making $10 a day, that $10 a day goes pretty far in Asia. You know, believe it or not, and you know, that might actually buy you food for the entire day or take care of some of your bills. Once you start getting into $100 or $200 a day, that becomes a situation where you're making more money than you could in any real industry in Asia, or at least a legitimate industry. There's not a whole lot of occupations in Asian countries where you can make that kind of money. And so when you hear this word of mouth of people that you know that are invested in the platform and that are seeing some of these substantial gains, that's a big deal. In America, you know, it's you know, $200 a day. It's we're such a rich country, and there's so much opportunity for you know, for making money here, that maybe it doesn't carry the same weight. And there's also a lot of scams that really come with that. There's a lot of people that take advantage of people, you know, through websites, phishing scams. There's been all these hacking things that have gone on here recently. So I guess that's kind of more of the way I see it. I think just the wave of adoption that we've seen in Asia has a lot to do with just the communities there, the communication, and it's still yet to really hit the States on the same level. So I believe that's coming, and I think when you start to see maybe the futures market really take over and maybe drive the price of Bitcoin to $20,000 here, which, you know, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, that Richard Hart was predicting in one of his latest interviews. That's pretty substantial. So I think that you might see even more interest in the States as we move forward in that direction. When will the 2018 roadmap be released, or what do you think BitConnect will bring in 2018? So the big one that looks like they're going to be starting to get into is merchant, physical stores, buying things with BCC. That's going to provide a little bit more showmanship. If you're actually able to use BitConnect coins, you're actually able to use the money to spend in different in different stores for different items, for things that you need. I mean, that's a little. I think the big thing behind Bitcoin and why a lot of people are still a little bit hesitant to get into it is how do you spend it? How do you use it? How do you transact with it on a daily basis? And I think that is a big thing that we're seeing with where I think BitConnect wants to go is they're wanting to provide a platform that makes it easy for people to transact and do some of those things. Now, I believe a lot of that stuff is probably going to be in Asia first. So you might start to see like stores being rolled out in Asian countries before you see anything in the U.S. But I believe it's coming. I think that a lot of the stuff that they're going to be doing with their roadmaps is probably going to be geared towards that, as well as just different things to expand the platform. They're interested in opening up offices all over the world, having physical offices that people can come in and get, education, kind of have a tutorial, have somebody walk you through the whole process. We're seeing that a little bit in some of these offices that are around. So yeah, I mean that's I think that's where I see it going. But then again, that's my guess. I mean, it's really hard to say. The web staking I think was one. That is another technology I think that they're looking to roll out. That's one I would like to see because I travel so much. I'd like to get into staking more, but it becomes a little bit difficult. Let me show you guys like my staking wallet. See if I can pull this up for you guys. Like I got like 4 BCC coins in my staking wallet, and it's just. Well, it doesn't seem to be pulling up for me. Yeah, I just restarted my computer. That might have something to do with it. Well, I don't want to mess around with this right now. But yeah, I haven't really made anything on staking with BCC, and part of that's just I'm just never connected to the internet. So I'm going to be looking forward to some more things where I can stake, where I don't have to have a physical computer always connected to the internet. Otherwise, I got to get going on an office here somewhere. Can't get your QT wallet to link. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that. I mean, I was kind of having some similar issues. Shift NRG card. I'm not too familiar with the Shift NRG card. I know the Shift card. Would you say that the growth and volume in Asia can sustain BitConnect in USA is just a bonus? The volume that we're seeing in Asia has been more than enough to sustain the platform, and I think that the majority of the money that we've been seeing is really it's in Korea, it's in India, it's in Vietnam, it's in Indonesia, and probably the U.S. I mean, those are probably the 5 biggest countries that are invested in BitConnect, in my opinion. So, between those communities and those countries, the money that's in the platform through those communities has been enough, really, in my opinion, to really give them the capital they need to really move forward with this platform. Is BCC staking more profitable than holding Bitcoin? At this point, no, just because of the way the coin has dropped. Historically, yes. If you had staked earlier, because of the price rise of the coin, we haven't really seen the coin really break out. And typically, it kind of breaks out in like $50 increments. At least it's kind of what I've seen. I don't know if that's going to be something that we're going to see here. In the near future. I mean, just currently, I mean, that we've seen the price has really kind of come down, and it's really kind of stabilized at the $300 mark as we've seen Bitcoin really start to take off. Now, BitConnect owns and holds a lot of Bitcoin, so perhaps this is a way for them to really stockpile their reserve accounts if they're making a lot of money trading within the platform. The lending rates have been fairly stable. We were seeing about a month or two ago we were seeing prices where you'd see a 0% day, then you see a 2% day, you see a 0% day, and you see a 2% day, and we're starting to see a little bit more stability. I think we've got, it's been just a little bit under 1%, and now we're starting to kind of get, just about 1%, seems like every day. So let me see if I can pull this up. I think we had like 1.2 for tomorrow, 1.3 for today. I'll show you this. The rates that we've got here, 1.2 for tomorrow, 1.3 today. So you're seeing, rates were coming down a little bit, but let me shift this up a little bit. But yeah, we're seeing more sustained profits. We haven't seen a zero. This 0 day was a while ago, back on the 6th, and we had another one on Halloween, roughly. So we had those 2 days. But just kind of looking over the history, we're seeing more. You saw these up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's starting to stabilize. It seems like a little bit more here. And that was something that we were a little bit more accustomed to seeing in the July time frame, July, early August. You're seeing pretty consistent days over 1%, and a few breakout days where you had some pretty big jumps in price. But you can see here, like, this is also really interesting just to kind of see, like, we had $8,000 Bitcoin not too long ago, and we're, that was like a week ago. Now we're getting up to like 10,000. So, it's hard to guess the top, and I don't know if that's really a good strategy to really try and guess the top, because Bitcoin always tends to be going up. I've had a lot of people asking if this is going to be a good time to get into Bitcoin right now, and I don't know, something's really kind of keeping me from pulling the trigger. Like, there was, I think I was recommending a few weeks ago when Bitcoin came down to 6,000. It actually went below 6,000 for a little time period, but that was a great time to buy in. You saw that as a low price. You typically don't want to buy on all-time highs. You don't want to buy when the price is at an all-time high. But the price tends to keep going in an all-time high. I mean, it's gone up $1,000 in the last 2 days, 10%. So there's been a huge increase with the price, and we haven't seen, some of the other markets really catch up. I was kind of thinking, and that's kind of what I was saying on some of my streams, is that I believe that BitConnect's poised for a breakout, since we've seen a huge price rise with Bitcoin, and as you maybe see some of the other currencies really kind of start to diversify and have more volume behind some of those altcoins, that you might see a price rise in some of those coins. But I think right now I'm kind of I'm holding. So I'm not putting out loans. I'm not transferring into BTC. I think we're going to have a breakout, and once we have kind of a big shift in the coin, I think that's when I'll maybe start to look at making some moves. So I'm trying to keep these around, these live streams around 40 minutes or so. So I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes, maybe answer a few more questions. But I want to kind of try to keep these. I don't want to keep them. I don't want to do them for like an hour, and then when you're not able to catch me during my live stream, and watching an hour-long live stream is a little bit tough. Is BCC staking grows the amount of BCC, or just earn when it appreciates the USD value? No, you actually earn a little bit of BCC coin by staking. You think you earn like right now it's like 8% a month, so it's not as much as you would make in the lending platform. But if you're somebody that is holding a lot of BCC, that typically tends to be a good strategy. So as opposed to putting out a bunch of loans, you can hold the coin and kind of keep it in staking, and just with the price rise that we've seen, I mean, BitConnect was $1 earlier this year. Now it's been pretty steady at $300. It's a 300-fold increase in price, and who's to say that over the next year we might not see another 300-fold increase in price? I don't know how likely that is, but right now at a $2.5 billion market cap, say we go to $5 billion market cap, and all of these other new users, those coins are going to be a lot more valuable and a lot harder to come by, which is going to drive the price up. And as you see a lot more people that are pretty heavily invested in BitConnect starting to get into staking, where they're locking up those coins, there's not going to be many of those coins in circulation, and so that's going to be you know, another indicator as to why we might see prices really start to break out. Can we buy BCC direct from the exchange? If yes, which exchange? I don't believe so. I don't. You do have to go into Bitcoin to buy BCC. There's not a way to do that yet. Maybe that'll be part of the roadmap. Should have used Airbnb for a room near the expo, much cheaper. Yeah, actually, I'm staying in an Airbnb for the next 3 days, so I'm just here in this hotel for one night, and then I'm staying in some Victorian house in downtown Santa Clara for 3 nights. It's like some sort of business-ready thing, so I'm going to check it out, and if I like it, I might extend my stay. But yeah, I mean, Airbnbs have been like between, you know, 100 150 bucks. I can get a 3-bedroom house, you know, really nice 3-bedroom house for cheaper than I can get a hotel. Like I was actually very close to getting a 3-bedroom house, and just, you know, maybe I meet up with some guys at the blockchain. I'm like, hey, you know, you need a place to stay or something? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with a 3-bedroom house. Yeah, I mean, Joey, like I was looking too. There's not a whole lot that are too close. There was one I really liked that was not too far away from the expo, but it's a 3-bedroom house. So maybe if you're still looking for a place or something, maybe we can link up and grab a spot. That might be kind of cool. Because yeah, there was one that had a really nice pool, had like a basketball court, had all this stuff, these amenities. It's like a condominium complex and everything. But 3 bedrooms, it was only like 200 bucks. Airbnb for the win. Yeah, I was looking at, like, you know, like the Hilton. If you look at the prices of the Hilton, it's like a month from now, it's like 100 150 bucks. Like, it's not like the nicest Hilton or whatever. But like right now, what hotels will do is if they start to really book up and they get a lot of bookings for a particular weekend or whatever, they start to price gouge. And so it seemed like every hotel that is kind of dialed in to these different networks, if it's not like a corporate hotel, all their prices are spiking. Like when I was on the phone with this Marriott hotel, I was going to stay here for 3 nights, but as I was on the phone, the price jumped for like Tuesday and Wednesday, like almost $200 a night. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just staying there Monday, because that was the only time they could offer me those rates. Peak season, aka bend over. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys staying on the live stream. I think I'm going to call it a stream. I'll be on some point tomorrow. Bring you guys a little bit of an update, a little bit of my perspectives on the market. Appreciate you guys staying online. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.